joining you for another episode of We the People. And you got your boy Sauce God Kemosabi. I'm here with my girl
Eco
and my dog
Alecth3illfigure. What's going on?
Once again, we are the people. And like, join, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Just be part of the movement. And today we got an interesting topic to cover. What was it? Vaccinations, correct?
Vaccinations.
Yeah.
Vaccinations. Now,
Specifically, COVID-19 vaccination.
Specifically. Now, me personally, I'm not with it. I ain't never been with somebody telling me to do something. No, I object because I already don't believe in vaccinations. Now, I'm pretty sure, it's science documented saying that it works. I'm not, saying that you shouldn't take it. I just personally feel I shouldn't take one. What about you, bro?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Some vaccinations I feel like are necessary, and others I just don't trust. Like with this one, I really don't trust this. It hasn't, they brought it up so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as COVID came out, boom, a few months later, oh, now we have this vaccine.
Right.
When usually vaccines take years to produce.
Well, that's true.
And the thing about it, with everything that's going on now, and we're seeing like a lot of stuff, basically history repeating itself, I just get vibes of like 1950 St. Louis, Chicago, and they were like spraying chemicals in neighborhoods and getting people sick and doing all this other stuff, like some testing type stuff. Not to be on like a conspiracy theory type thing, but I just, as me being the person I am and being a man of color, I just don't. I'd have to see first. Because we done got the vaccination. Next thing you know, folks walking around here with 3 arms and like 17 toes or something like that, and it be all funky. I ain't with it.
What about you, big dog?
Well, I wanted to touch on what you said about how fast they came up with the vaccination. Okay, so I did a little bit of research on the actual origin of the pharmaceutical company that creates the vaccinations for COVID, and they were talking about what is it? Let me see. Where is it? Messenger. So it's like messenger RNA. So they figure out how to insert the RNA from the actual virus and like insert it in a way that won't be harmful to whoever is receiving the vaccination. But they've been working on this for like 30 years now, and I just find it convenient how for 30 years they've been working on how to actually do it, so that because that's the reason why, according to them, it happened so fast. But I just find it convenient how it just happened around the time of COVID. You know what I'm saying? Because they said they've been working on how to do this for like 30 years.
Yeah, well, a point to that, when you're talking about vaccination, they use basically the same format that they do for all other vaccinations for this COVID vaccination. But the thing about it, it usually takes longer for them to make those vaccinations because they do the same thing. They take a strand of because like when you get the flu vaccination, you're actually being given basically a non-harmful form of the virus itself. And it's supposed to build your immune system. Your body's supposed to see, this foreign object, create antibodies for it. And that's why when you're around people with the flu, you don't necessarily get it because your immune system is prepared to handle that virus itself.
Right.
But with COVID, I feel like this hasn't been a sickness that has been able to be basically examined or tested as much as other ones, because like with flu, they go off of the prime print, and but you have like variations of the flu, but they just go off of original vaccinations for that in order to create a vaccine for the quote unquote new strain. But it's still based. It's like a computer system. It's updated, but it still has the base format. You see what I'm saying? But with COVID, it's new. Excuse me. It's new software. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, how can you quote unquote like make something for software that you've never seen before?
Touching on your point though, it's already the fact that you have the idea of killing a virus with a virus. You know what I'm saying? You're killing a disease with a disease. It's a practice. You know what I'm saying? It's a study that they had to adapt, and they first adapted it from, way back in, like you say, during them medieval times. You know what I'm saying? They've been practicing separation. They've been practicing immunization. But when you talk about vaccination, that's a different gamble. Because for the people that it does work for, they're cured. You know what I'm saying? They might not have to worry about this again. But for the people that doesn't work for, it could be fatal.
Yeah, it's a really big double-edged
It's like you're
sword.
playing a game with numbers.
But I'm essentially agreeing with you though, because like I said, apparently they've been working on, like I said, I understand what you're saying about every virus, like how they go about the vaccination. It has an origin, because even though every virus and every infection doesn't work the same, it still goes off of, you know, the basic principles of what, you know, it's all about transmission. It's about how the virus is spread. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, it just seems like they're always pulling out or coming up with new ways to pass the virus around, and, you know, how fast it can be transmitted. And like, they talk about that, and then they'll give you a vaccine that, first of all, when I looked it up, the CEO, that man didn't even want to get the vaccination himself. He talking about, oh, well, I don't want to jump or skip the line. You know, I know people need to be prioritized for vaccination, so I don't want to skip the line. But that just seems fishy to me. And then on top of that, they're saying that one shot is only 52% effective at protecting you from the virus. And you have to get a second shot for it to be 95% effective. And I just feel like that's a dangerous game to play with something that y'all are blowing out of proportion. I ain't gonna say blowing out of proportion, but something that y'all are publicizing and constantly talking about the numbers. You would think that they would be a little bit more careful, a little bit more precise about the type of vaccinations that they put out. There's already so many so-called health risks that come along with COVID itself. So why chance it by making even more people sick? They already said it's still possible for you to get sick within 2 weeks after getting the vaccine, because there's not enough time for your body to build up that immunity. And I just feel like it's very shoddy work. I feel like they're trying to kill us. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't really believe.
So you feel like basically they're trying something out.
Yeah.
And you're trying it out on common day people, everyday people.
Definitely.
I agree, because I mean it's easy to do, especially if I'm offering it to you.
Yeah, and
you know
the thing about that's one of the reasons why too.
Free.
Yeah,
it's like it's no different from a flu shot. You know, they always coming up with these new flu shots. They don't necessarily tell you what's in them. They just tell you, oh, it's better than the last one. But how do I know? And why do you have to keep making the flu shot better? I thought it was just the flu.
Yeah,
you know
but the thing about like sicknesses and diseases and stuff like that, like it's like evolution. They change, they mutate, they grow, they adapt and evolve because of the things that we do.
Okay, well I agree, but I disagree, because chickenpox didn't mutate. You know what I'm saying? Polio didn't mutate. I mean, all the diseases that happened, SARS mutated, and this is something that not only did it strike back, it's striking back harder than it ever struck.
Yeah, but those are a different genus of
but it's a mutation
disease
of an original disease that we've already dealt with, and that's what's scary.
Yeah, but some are different. But the thing about it, you can't just diseases. You can't just lump them all into one group. You have
definitely.
They're different. You have different categories, different genuses, different like variations in type. It's like mushrooms.
I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just I have these questions. I have these questions out of all of the diseases that's been plaguing America and been plaguing every other country. Why is this one so hard to fight?
I think it's because...
Because think about it. When we had swine flu was killing people left and right, and it was scary. So I just didn't eat pork. And that was about 90% effective right there alone.
Get swine flu from eating pork.
Hey, man, but that was like the first...
They just called it swine flu because it first originated...
But I knew, like, first off, the first thing I'm going to do is not eat bacon. Second of all, the next thing I'm not going to do is hang around people who coughing. Because these are just precautions we take. Now, this is a disease where you just can't take a precaution from it. And that's what's so... Like, it started with the exchange of money. That was the point of contact that they first, explained for coronavirus. Exchange of money. It could be on $1 for days. It can be on coin for weeks. All type of stuff. Then, it was just breathing the same air. So we started wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? Now people are wearing masks, not touching stuff, wearing gloves. We still getting sick. And then you come with a vaccine. Listen, you come with a vaccine with the hope that it's going to work. Not 99% sure. The hope that it's going to work. Why would I be willing to jump at that?
Okay, well, what I will say about that, like when you talking about people still getting sick, people are still getting sick because you have certain people in certain groups. We're not going to name them right now. We might get into that on another topic. But they believe the virus is a hoax. They don't think it's real. And then you have certain people that listen to a certain idiot. We're not going to name no names. We'll do that in a later episode. That tells people not to wear their masks. That everything is okay. That we're beating this. We're doing fine. And people are not taking the necessary precautions. Yeah, and I know people are probably going to comment saying, well, the three of y'all were sitting right next to each other and y'all don't have masks. Well, that's because we take necessary precautions beforehand. And each of us has been tested. I know I have.
I haven't.
You haven't? I thought you said you had.
I ain't even about to lie to you.
And you got me sitting here on camera looking stupid.
Man, you should already know. What? You see this hair? Come on, cousin.
What that mean?
Man, you can tell my hair is an expression of my lifestyle.
A COVID test is... Oh, my God.
I grab life by the horns, son. What are you talking about?
Dude, and now I got to start wearing my mask because I'm sitting here thinking... And that's another thing. You have people sitting here thinking that one person
we ain't got no space to
infected.
be 6 feet apart in here. What are you talking about?
And they're not. And the thing about it, a lot of people are asymptomatic. They'll have the virus, don't know they have the virus.
Exactly. So you think I'm about to sit here and worry about if you got it, man? If you did have it, I wouldn't know if you asymptomatic. So you just
I
grab life by the horns.
You just shooting blind. You just shooting from the hip. You just if it happened, it happened, huh?
What?
Oh, you wild. Yeah, you really is wild.
You putting hope in the fact that this vaccine might work, and I'm not against it. I mean, we gotta have hope in something.
I think it will work. I just think it needs more time.
We ain't got time, according to what the news say. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like if it was that deep, if it was that serious, if it wasn't all surrounded, if everything wasn't an agenda pushed by money, then maybe this virus would be a little bit less outrageous than they are making it.
How so?
Businesses are still open. Okay, first of all, this is what I don't fucking understand. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say that. This is what I don't understand. First of all, you talk about how dangerous and deadly this disease is, and y'all don't know nothing, and but then you make everybody go back to work. First of all, the stay-at-home order, nobody was required to stay home. You were still allowed to go out, buy groceries, this, that, and the third. Somehow, though, even though we was allowed to buy groceries, there was no groceries in the stores. And somehow none of the grocery stores could keep up with the amount of groceries that these people needed during this dangerous pandemic. Why were people still working? Why were people still going to the store? There should have been a set date where everybody needed to get their stuff together, take their behind in the house, couple of weeks go by, maybe a month or two, this wouldn't even be a problem.
Well, another thing about it too, I feel like
before we get that,
this wouldn't even be an issue.
Okay,
everybody. First of all, everybody walking around wearing their masks like it's a Superman cape or something. Like this is gonna protect them forever. Like no matter what they do, no matter what door handle they touch. I'm at work now. They already talking about people catching COVID. I'm around here touching door handles and stuff, having to go get tested because these niggas don't want to just give us some laptops and let us go home and do the work there. All I gotta do is talk to people on the phone all day. Why am I still at work and y'all talk about people are catching COVID? If it was that deep, if it was that serious, they would have took the necessary precautions. First of all, they have the FDA, they got the CDC. These niggas know how it, these people know exactly how the virus works. They study it all day. It took them 30 years to figure out how to do this specific vaccine for this virus, and it still don't work. Y'all acting like y'all don't know how this stuff works. Y'all acting like y'all really don't know. Y'all have spent years. Y'all have technology that comes out 10 years later that y'all already been using, and y'all expose it to the public. They already know how it works. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is all about money. This is all a political whatever. They had a bunch of people. You know what? We're going to get on that in another episode. But that's not the point. I'm just saying that this is a game, and
that's one thing I really feel like that was.
Fired up
Yeah,
tonight.
that was.
I
That
gotta
was. I gotta give you the
because
applause for
everybody
that
acting
one.
like they don't know what's going on.
You went
Like,
off.
it's
I wanted
not
to
obvious.
get out my chest.
If they
Exactly.
really wanted to do something and they really wanted to fix it, then none of this would be. They was sitting here arguing about our tax money. They was arguing about how much of our money to give us
You dropping some
during
facts
something
tonight.
that is so dangerous and so scary and so terrible for the American
Right.
people. Come on with the bull. I mean, just come on.
And to
Like, it
piggyback
doesn't
off of
make
you,
sense.
yeah, to piggyback off of that, like I feel like
Nah, that's
initially when the virus, you know, when it was like quote unquote like all around and mainstream and stuff, I do not feel like it was handled correctly. Because you think about other countries, when they first noticed that they started getting cases, they shut everything down. Nobody could go anywhere. Nobody can do anything. You had a specific time when you went and did whatever you had to do. And the only people that were working were people that were forced, like medical professionals,
Right.
paramedics,
Okay.
things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like things that just had to keep
You know what,
working.
you're right.
People that electrical workers because you have to keep
You know what?
electricity up and
Till
all the
this
other stuff.
day, Norway does not allow any other people to come on that island, that little country they got. Nobody is coming over there. Nobody is traveling over there. They're not allowing people
Whoa.
in their country.
We missing the bigger picture. You know what else? They paid them. That was also in the documentation they first wrote up to put a stop to COVID.
And
They
that's one
paid
thing that bothers me too.
So when listen, I feel what you're saying, but this is my problem. Y'all wasn't in no hesitation to stop me from voting. Y'all wasn't in no hesitation to stop me from going to work. Shoot, y'all wasn't in no hesitation to stop me from just going to regular restaurants, eateries, and places where you know people touch stuff all the time. But you was in no rush to pay me.
Yeah, and that's one of my.
I don't get it.
That's one of my biggest things that has like really made me mad is the fact that other countries that are necessarily quote unquote not even as wealthy as America is substantially paying their citizens to stay home and stay safe. But we're sitting here having to fight through all this legislation and things like that to even get crumbs.
And we're still out here drinking, partying, and eating like this.
And it comes down to
1999.
our country runs off consumerism.
Exactly.
And our country runs off the fact that we're so vain that we think, oh, it's not gonna happen to me mentality.
Because
It's not gonna happen to our country.
Yeah.
Nah, this is America. Americans don't get
You're
sick.
so busy having me consume. I'm not even thinking about consuming this vaccine. I've been consuming just fine already.
I mean,
Ain't nothing happened.
listen, I don't want to say Americans are dumb, but like, you just blindly follow whatever.
We storm capitals. We're dumb.
You just gonna blindly follow whatever. Whatever person is in the White House, whoever you feel like isn't with the lobbyists and isn't with the Democratic agenda, they're all with the same agenda. They don't want you to have nothing. They're trying, you know what?
And that I
I'm
agree
getting
because
in-
they
I'm
both
getting
having
into
this fight for this
stuff
vaccine.
that I don't need to say.
And I done seen the NBA talk about some, they ain't in no rush to get it. Now listen, these professional athletes, they worth millions of dollars. Y'all ain't no rush to get that for them.
They making y'all money.
And y'all ain't no rush to get them a vaccine. Because even y'all don't trust the vaccine, obviously. NFL, I ain't seen them
The
even talk about it.
CEO still has yet to take that
MLB,
vaccine.
what?
That's all I'm saying.
Baseball, bro, please, we ain't got
COVID's
nobody at
been
the
around
game.
for a
We
year.
ain't-
How you ain't took the vaccine? You be going to all these press conferences and stuff. You be having all these affairs and things of that nature, but you ain't took the vaccine. You be traveling all over the world. You ain't worried about COVID.
But we got to get into this another day, you know, get a little deeper into it because one thing we can't forget, we all got opinions, we all got things to say, but we all got to agree to disagree sometime because we just the people. So I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for joining. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe. You know, be part of this. Be part
Share.
of the movement.
Let your friends know.
Definitely share. I need to share more too. I ain't gonna lie.
Mhm.
But tune in next time for another good episode of We the People. And Don Kemosabi, aka the Sauce God. I'm here with my girl,
Ego.
my dog,
Alecth3illfigure.
and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Peace.
Shout out to Hustle Road! Hey!
That's it.